Yeah, so let's start this one. So first we'll talking about the numbers, right? So let me just create a markdown cell and put down the numbers. So we'll be looking into the numbers in Python, how many types of numbers are there, and what all the things that we can do with them. All right. So basically numbers, and there are basically two types of numbers in Python, not the types in case of length or how large number you can store. That's actually handled by in the runtime by Python. If you have a large number, so that will increase the bit size in the memory itself directly. You do not have to do worry about that. So basically there is two types of numbers. One is the floating point numbers, and the other one the integer. Floating point numbers means they are decimal in nature, and integers are the full numbers actually. Okay, so for example, right, for example, if you have let's say 1 or let's say 3 or any other number like this, these all are the integers, right? But if you talk about, let's say 2.1 or 90.0 even, this is also a floating point number. Right? Even if you just have a very large number like this, so that will also be an integer. Okay, sorry, floating point number. Okay. So I hope so there is a basically a dot type function there. So if you simply use type and put the number inside it, then you'll be able to see whether it is an integer or some other kind of a data type. So for example, type, and if I put some decimal number like this, so it will give me float. So any full number will be an integer, and anything that is a decimal, that will be a float. All right. Even let's say 28.0, this is also a float number. Okay. So these are the two types of numbers in Python. You can do all the very different things with them, like this addition, subtraction, multiplication, all the different things, right? For example, 3 plus 3.0, even 3 plus 2, like 3 minus 4, 5 multiplied by 6. So this is the multiplication operator. This asterisk is the multiplication operator, start. Okay. And the forward slash is the division operator. Okay. Okay. And there we have 3.2 divided by 6. So that's also, you can just have all those different things, the summation, division, subtraction, all those different things. There are a couple of other types of operators I'll talk about. For example, the modulo division. For example, let's say if I do 9 divide by 4, so it's a normal 2.25, but if I do, let's say 9 modulo 4, so that will be a modulo operator, and this gives you the remainder. Right? So it will return you the remainder of, right? So as I said, as I have told you, I've talked about the the notebook environment earlier about this. Right? The notebook environment, I have talked about this earlier as well in this session. And so these are the shells here. We'll be writing code and all that. And this is how you'll be executing and keep going. So since this is the beginning, we are just writing one particular command, one particular code into just one line and executing and going further, right? So usually it's not the programming style that we choose. We'll be writing few lines of code in just one cell, and then we keep going and that. So that you will be learning throughout this journey, right? So this is the modulo operator that will give you the remainder, and there's something that will give you the full the divisor division. For example, let's say if you do 9 by 4, right? Instead of this, if you do double forward slash, so it will give you the full division, right? So now see, in this case, you're getting the remainder. So if you see here, you are getting the floor division. This is called floor division, right? So if you divide, you will get 2.2, and if you get the floor value of this 2.25, then you will get the 2, right? And if you take the seal value of 2.25, then you'll get the 3. So these are the very basic things about the numbers in mathematics, arithmetics with the numbers. It's a pretty basic things. I hope you know already in the form of math in the notebook.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, here 9 divided by 4 is like 2.25, right, sir?
Yeah.
Let's take an example, sir. Instead of 2.25, like if the answer is like 2.999 something, then it will project as 2 only, sir, as a floor division.
Exactly. It's not rounding. Remember, it's not rounding. It's floor division. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Because the even 6.99, the floor value of this will be how much? 6. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for character, as you told earlier, their type in bracket, if we float floor value or in integer
Yeah. Go ahead.
value, will get float or it's integer. For character, it's possible.
Yes, it is possible. So I'll come back to this later. Okay. Okay. One thing. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just be coming to that in upcoming things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so there's another operator, that's the power operator, we can say. Let's say 2 double asterisk. So if you use double asterisk, so that is nothing but the power operator, right? So you can see here 2 to the power 3, what we are getting 8, right? Let's say if you do the same thing, 4 to the power 3, that's we're getting 64. So this is nothing but the power operator. So whenever you use double asterisk, then you will get the power operator, right? Now, based on where we have gone through as of now, let's say if I ask you that you have to calculate the square root of some value, for example, let's say 64. How would you calculate the square root of 64? You have to answer only those things that we have already gone through, not something new. A square root is nothing but power 1 by 2, isn't it? So if we do, let's say, power 0.5 or power 1 by 2, that will be the same. 1 by 2. So we are getting the current value. Okay, so if you don't know, power 1 by 2 is nothing but the square root. All right. And if we do power 1 by 3, then that will be a cube root, right? So if we do power 1 by 3, what should we get in here? The thing that we are getting the incorrect value is because if you calculate this 1 by 3, this 1 by 3 itself is not accurate, right? It's not accurate. So when you stop writing, it has a particular precision, right? It is not up to the mark. So if it is not up to the mark, this value, so that's why this value is also not up to the mark, this particular value. All right. So that's the problem. All right, no issues. So let's see. Let's see some of the other things. For example, you can just solve the we can do, let's say 3 multiplied by 45 divided by 34 17 plus 17, right? So you can do all those, just all these things you can simply do in here. Right? So you see you can simply, let's say, so all the multiplication, all the division operators, you can just apply against all the basic arithmetic equation with the help of this Python as well. Can we use the typecasting to change the answer? Exactly, you can change the answer. Yeah, you can do that. The typecasting means you can simply, let's say, int. Let's say if you're getting some float number, you can use typecasting. Now 3.4 is become 3, but here the loss of information is there. But if you want, you can change this 3.0 to 3. That's possible to do. So whatever the float is, it is changing that to the integer, right? Not only the float, even you can change some other types to the integer as well. That I'll come to the later. Okay. Even if you have, let's say, integer 4, and if you want to change, you can change into the float as well. Right. Right. Okay. So these are the very basic things about the numbers in Python. You can assign the numbers to the variables as well. For example, x is equals to n, e is equals to 1. You can just have any variable name, like just this weird name you can also have as a variable name. Right. So this is nothing but variable assignment. Right. So this is nothing but the variable assignment. And you can just assign a variable to assign a value to the variable. So here the variable name is x, and I'm assigning a value to n, right? For example, this is a variable, I'm assigning a value 12.23. And here, if you check the type of, let's say, x, so you will get integer. Now, why you are getting integer? Because the value that is stored into this variable is nothing but an integer. So similarly, if you check the type of this as well, you will get float, because the value that is inside this variable is nothing but a float. How to assign two variables in the same line? You can just have separated by comma. I don't think it's something that is really useful for you. So this is how you can do, right? This is how you can assign two variables in the same line. Yeah, you can store binary data too, but you need to write the binary first, right? The way you will be writing the binary, that's the question. How will be storing the binary? For example, you can just store, let's say, s is equals to 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. But this is not binary, remember, this is not a binary thing, this is an integer. So we have gone through the assignment. You can also do the reassignment as well. For example, the variable that you have already assigned, you can give a new value as well, right? Okay, so let's say s is equals to 12. I can just assign another value to that as well. So anything that I want, I can give it round function in the power operator square. Yes, you can use the round function, right? Round is an inbuilt function. Round function to any value. For example, here the current value is 1.2, and if I round it, so I'll get 1. Okay. All right. So for example, let's say I have a is equals to 10, and if I do a is equals to a plus a first will be solved. So whatever the value of a is, that is 10. So 10 plus 10, that is 20, and then 20 will be assigned to this a. Now the value of a has been updated. So if you check the value of a later, so that will be 20. And if you do the same thing again, a plus a, now the current value of a is 20, and now it will be 40. Right? So that you have to remember. There is also another way to do the same, right? But I will come that to later, that you do not need to know or anything. Okay. All right. Actually, you cannot give any name that you want to these variable. There are some things that you need to follow for giving the name to these variable. That I would like to know you. For example, the first rule is the name cannot start with a number. For example, you're having a variable name x is equals to 10. You can have as x1, x2, x2, x3, or even a very long number followed by this as well, or anything that start with this and then followed by this. This can also be a variable name as well. The only thing is the name cannot start with a number, right? For example, 1x is equals to 10 or 9 or whatever. This is not possible, right? You can say here it is getting the syntax error, right? The name cannot start with the number. That's the first rule. Don't worry if you're not writing it. I will send the notebook to you. You'll be able to see that. So the name cannot start with the number. That's the first rule. You cannot use a space in the name, right? For example, let's say you want to write a really descriptive name. For example, my var is equals to 10. So this is not possible. If you want to give it a descriptive name, you cannot use space in the name. So what you can do instead of space to make it readable, so that somebody will be able to understand it. Either you can do just my var like this, or you can use my underscore var, right? So you can use underscore instead of the space if you want. The space is not allowed in the name. Okay. The other thing is you cannot use any of the special case symbols, right? For example, we have some of the special case symbols. So you cannot use any of these special case symbols in your name. Okay. Other, if you are using them, so that will not be a right name for you, right? See here, this is an error. Python is a case sensitive language actually. And if you have, let's say, two variable with the same name, for example, and one is in capital and one in small case, then those will be treated as a two different variables, right? For example, let's say a is equal to 10, and I have another capital A is equals to let's say 13. So these two are the different variables, right? So if you check the value of small a, that will be 10. If you check the value of capital A, that will be 13. If they would have been the same one, the a and small a would have changed, right? The value of the small a would have changed because we have assigned this one later. So these will be treated as a two different variable. Python is a case sensitive language. That's called the case sensitivity. Okay. Okay. So there are some some keywords in Python, right? For example, some keywords means there are some words that are reserved for the programming language itself. For example, the inbuilt functions, right? Or anything extra, any operator or something that you cannot use, that you cannot use in the name. For example, that you cannot use as a name, not in the name. Okay. For example, you have a function like type. I told you type is one of the function. Type is one of the functions. So you cannot do like type is equals to 10, right? You cannot do this. Other print is also one of the function. Print is equals to, let's say, 90. You cannot also assign variable names to these functions or any of the keywords in Python. Keywords means those words which are reserved for the programming language. So how to recognize all these keywords? Whenever you write them, you will see they change their color. For example, in I'm writing, it is changing its color to the green. So that means I can understand that this is a keyword. I cannot assign it a value. Okay. Similarly, I cannot assign to a list or print or anything, any keyword that changes their color, right? So these are nothing but the keywords. You cannot assign them a value, right? So these are the rules that you have to follow, right? I'm just going to explain them again. You cannot, the name cannot start with a number, right? There cannot be space in the name, right? You cannot use the special symbols that I have characterized over here. All these special symbols you cannot use, right, in the name. And basically, the Python is a case sensitive language. So capital A and capital small a will be two different variables. And you cannot use, right, the keywords in the name, right? You cannot use keywords as a name. All right. All right. Other than all these, there is something that you have to follow. I mean, there is something that you must follow, I would say. apart from all these, that is something, the naming convention, right? Can we use underscore? That's what I told you. You cannot use a space, but you can use the underscore. There is no underscore in this one. Okay. All right. So that's how, you know, that's all the rules. And as I said, there's something that you need to follow. That's not restricted, but you need to follow, that you must follow. That is the naming convention. For example, whatever you want to, you know, whatever you want to store, just give the descriptive name. Whatever you are storing into that, just give a descriptive name into that. Right? For example, let's say I am storing a number, right? So I can give num is equals to 10, right? I'm storing something. Let's say I'm storing the counter. I'm saving an integer for counter. So I can use as a C. C is equals to 10, or any value you want to store, right? Or you can just use count, or you can use counter, right? So whatever you are comfortable with, or C1, C2, you can also use it like that, right? Let's say you are defining some list, so you can use list one, list two, because list is a keyword, you see, so you can use list one, or you can use LST, or some descriptive name that you want. Okay. So for this, I'll just give you an example. Let's say I'm just writing one equation. D is equals to 1000. G is equals to 10. Q is equals to D multiplied by Z divided by 100. Right. Okay. So this is the one of the this is one of the, you know, equation. And now you see, if I ask you what am I doing into this one, right? So you see, there is a number, there is another number 10, and we are simply multiplying two numbers and dividing by 100, right? And just storing the results into another variable called Q, right? So that's something, you know, that's something you can understand here. Yeah. So for example, you can simply do what you can do in this one is, basically, let's say we can give a descriptive name to whatever. So let's say the same example I'm writing as, let's say, my underscore income is equals to 1000, tax rate is equals to 10. My tax is equals to my income multiplied by my tax rate divided by 1000. Now if I do the same thing, so you'll see here, we've got a tax. Now the same thing is here, the same thing is here, but you'll see this one is more descriptive. You can understand it anytime, right? What if we divide by 0? That will come into, you can simply do it. You'll get an error. You'll get a 0 division error in Python, right? You'll get a 0 division error. But my point is not that. My point is, whenever you are storing a variable, give it a descriptive name, right? For example, if you have written a very long code, let's say thousands of lines of code, and if you yourself are revisiting your code again, if there is something wrong, you'll not be able to fetch, and you'll not be able to backtrace it, what's wrong in there, right? So if you have written the code like this, right? If you have written a code like this, you'll not be able to go and backtrace and see where the problem is. But if you have written the results, the code like this, and not only this, you can also have the commented code as well. You can just put the comments, what you are going to do into that particular portion, what you're going to do into that particular portion. So that will enhance the code writing, the readability of the code, understandability of the code. It's not only limited to you revisiting your code. For example, you're working for some firm, right? And you are newly onboarded and you have been given to analyze the code. You have been given a code of, let's say 5,000 lines to understand, and then you have to work on that. So if you see a code written like this, it will be really frustrating for you. You'll not be able to understand that. You'll have to give more time into this. But if you see the code like this and well commented things, then it will be really, really great for you. Right? So that's what the problem I'm saying. So you have to use coding techniques like this. Even this is not wrong. You will never get any error into this, but this is something, the convention that you have to follow. Okay. That the length of the computer is a single length variable. No, that's not a big deal. That's not something. Okay. Basically, the value that you store, that takes the fine. These are nothing but the fixed things. They does not count into your space complexity. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's see. This is something we can do. Let's move to the next thing now. Let's move to the next thing. The variable assignment we have gone through, right? You can, as I said, you can check the type of the data by their variable as well. For example, if I check type of, let's say, my taxes, so it will be what? A float, because that is a 100.0, right? So can I get this stuff in the notes, or I have to go to the screenshot? No, I will give all these into the Google Classroom, right? But one thing that people keep asking me, what's the problem with this is, you cannot see when I will send you a file, it will be this particular file, objects and data structure.ipynb. So when you will see ipynb file, let's say you have downloaded it somewhere, let's say kin.ipynb, assignment1.ipynb, like this. If you double click it, you will not be able to open. Who's that? Who are trying to do the screen, please do not do this. If I have given privilege to you, please don't misuse it. Okay. All right. So if you double click it, you will not be able to open. You will see something like this, some HTML things over here, right? So the thing is, you have to open it in the Jupyter notebook, right? See, even then I'm telling you, but I will show you that you will get the comment the next day, somebody asking how to open this. I'm not able to open this, and so. Okay. But yeah, this is something that you have to understand. You cannot open it by there. You have to open the Anaconda, you have to open the Jupyter notebook, and then you have to, you will directly come into this, and then you can navigate to your folder wherever you have downloaded it, and then you can click on that and it will open like this. Okay, then this is how it will be open. Otherwise, the other thing you can do, you can upload it to the Colab, right? Just download it and go to collab.research.google.com, right? You can simply search Colab on the Google, you'll be able to get the link, collab.research.google.com. And once you go there, you will find one upload tab, right? Here you can upload your file. You can either click in here and then go and fetch your file and upload, or you can drag and drop over here as well. So that both will work. Once you drag it, your file will be, you'll be able to access your file from here. It will automatically open in the Google Laboratory. So this is something that I had explained you in the, it's the same thing basically. It's a notebook itself, right? If you have not installed the Jupyter notebook, so in that case, that's the solution. I hope you might be able to understand, right? All these things.
So what if we introduce pointers?
So pointers in this one?
Yes, sir. In the like when we introduce pointers over for these equations.
So pointers in this equation. So there are no, I mean, there's no concept of pointer in Python actually. You'll never be finding uses of pointer in Python.
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah. Actually, they're never required in this one. Okay. All right. So we have the variable assignments. We have done this. All right. The next thing that we are going through is the string. So we have gone through the numbers, right? The next thing that we are going through the string. Now, what are the strings? So somebody was asking the question, can we do the same, the data type of this for the text as well? Okay, so for that, you have to understand the string and you have to understand what exactly is a string. So you see, integer is one of the data type that holds the numbers, that too not decimal type, right? And similarly, the floating point numbers hold the data that is a decimal type, right? So similarly, string, um, why it is coming float in last input? Because might access, what is the value of might access? It's 100.0, right? It's a float, isn't it? I have already shown you this example. Even if it is a 3.0, here, this is a float, right? See, this is a float. Is there any confusion? This is also a float. Are you getting it? I hope you are. Okay, great. So let's create a new one notebook string. Let's understand what exactly strings are and how come they will be useful for us. Okay. Okay. Strings are used in Python to record the text information, such as names, right? Strings in Python are actually a sequence. I'll come to the sequence part. What exactly is sequence? A sequence is nothing but, Python keeps track of every element in the string as a sequence, right? As a sequence means, for example, you have a string hello, HELLO. So it will be a sequence of letter in a specific order, and that order is H, then E, and then L, and then L, and then O, right? If you change the sequence, your string will be changed. Okay, so that will be a different string. If you have same sequence, you'll be the same string, right? So this means we have a positioning, right? For the first letter, we have a position. For the second letter, we have a position. For the third letter, we have a position. That's how Python recognizes them. If the position and their values are the same, right? For example, if you are writing, let's say a string, so you can define a string by double quotes or single quotes. Let's say you have a string like this. This is a string. Similarly, you are writing another string HELO, right? So you see, there are also 2L, there are also 2L, but the sequence is not the same. The sequence is different, right? Here, L, after L, there is another L. Here, there is O and then L. And then here is the O in the last, right? The length is the same. The character number counts are the same, but the sequence is not the same. So these two will not be the same strings, okay? These two will be different strings, right? So how does it compare? At the first position, there is H. At the first position, there is H. At the second position, there is E, L, L. But there is a change in the fourth position, right? There is a change in the fourth position. Now that is something you have to mention. So that's how Python also keeps track, right? Now, if Python knows the position, right, you will be also able to use them to find a particular value. That is called the index. The position that I'm talking about, the first position, second position, that is called the index, right? Now, there is an index. At each index, there is a value, right? There is a value. What is value? And as I told you, what is a sequence? This is a sequence of characters HELLO, and these each characters or each letter are nothing but individual values from which the string is defined, right? For example, once again, I'll just let's say this is the hello is the string, right? Then what we could do in this, we can know that what is letter, which letter is at what position, right? For example, let's say, let's store this into this, right? Okay, I'll come to this later, but let's understand some of the other basics. How do we create strings actually? We can create string by using this single quotes, right? By using this single quotes. And you can also use, you can create a string by using the double quotes, right? It will be the same string, right? There is no difference between this string and this string, right? You see, they are the same, right? So now you say, why are there two ways to do this? So basically, let's say if you want to include even not only this, let's say I love strings. This is also a string. This whole thing is also a string. Even I can write multiple lines of string as well, right? But not using this way. This is also a string. Who's this? I see the name every time. Don't worry. Please do not do this. Otherwise, you will not see yourself in the class. All right. So actually, see, I just do not want you to, all these things. So because it just interrupt the flow, right? Whatever I'm thinking in my mind. So that's not that just disappear everything when I see something odd happening on the screen. Okay, let's say, yeah, so this is a string, all right? Even if I write multiple line string, so you can write multiple line string by using this way. This is an example of multi-line string. And this is line 3, right? So you see, this is a multi-line string, right? Once again, this is a single quotes. You can also write multi-line string by using 3 double quotes as well. This is also the same multi-line string, right? So this is another example of multi-line string. So I'll come to this backslash n part, right? But all this, even if you have, let's say, a whole textbook or whole document, you can just read them. You can just have them as a text, as a string in Python. Okay, that's something you have to understand. Even the whole notebook can be stored as a string in Python. Right? Python can keep track of each and every characters in that string, right? Even if there are lakhs of characters, or crores of characters are there, right? Millions of characters, it can simply store and know about them, right? So since so these are all the ways. So I was coming to why there are two ways to do this, right? Why there are two ways, why there are double quotes and single quotes. For example, if you want to include these single quotes inside the string, so for that you have to understand how strings are formed. So when you write a single quote, right, let's say there is no corresponding single quotes for closing it. So what will happen? Let's say you write hello in Spanish, right? So what will happen? Now it is waiting for, if I run it like this, so it says end of line while scanning the string little. It is still scanning the string, but the line has ended, right? When I close it, then it will be closed. Now the scanning of the string has stopped because we have got the second closing quotes, second closing single quote, right? First one is the opening single quote. The second one is the closing single quote. Since this is single quote that I'm calling single quote, it could also be the double quote as well, right? All right, let's think about the single quote only. Okay, let's say I want to write something called I don't know, right? Let's say I'm writing I don't know. When I'm writing this single quote over here, it is thinking that this is the end of the string, but it is not. I want this one to be included inside the string, but it is not. So instead of using this single quote, I can use a double quote, right? Now, if it is started from the double quote, it has to be ended from the single quote, and that it will not, it has to be ended from the double quote, and it will not be distracted in between by this single quote. So, but the underlying thing is, if you are using single quote inside your string, then you can use the double quote to wrap it around, right? If you are using double quote inside the string, then you can use single quote to wrap it around, right? There is another way as well. Let's say I can okay. Now this is another example. You can see this is an example. This is an example where I'm using single quote to wrap around because I'm using double quote inside the string, right? Because I'm using double quote inside the string. There is another way to do the same. Let's say this one. You can use backslash. Backslash is the backslash is used for the skip sequence. So wherever you will be used, wherever you're using backslash, you see still with the same thing, we are not getting the error in this case. Wherever you use the backslash, the next item will not be used for the formatting. Since these is a formatting character, right? It is used to form the string. So it will not be used for that. It will be used as a normal text in this case. Right? Similarly, you can also do over here and over here as well, right? So that is something you can also understand. There are two things, two ways. Whatever is the best for you, you can use them. Okay. So these are the pretty basic things about the strings. The way you can create the strings and how the strings are stored. What are the types of string? It's nothing but a sequence. Sequence is nothing but a sequence is nothing but a a sequence. We can say there's a specific sequence of the character, right? Python keeps track of every element in the string as a sequence that we can understand as what is a sequence. Okay. All right. Inside a string, each and everything has its place. Even if you have a comma, or if you have a dot, or if you have a space, they are also counted as a single element. Not only this, you can also have all the other different things like inside the string. So I talked about in this, sorry, here itself, I talked about all these, unusable things in the strings, right? But they can be used, right? They can be used in this, like, as I said, anything inside a string can be used, right? Anything inside the string, you can use in the string, all these things, right? Until unless you are not using this single quote or double quote conflict, right? You can use them. So they all can be the part of the string, but they cannot be the part of the variable name. Okay. These are the things. And as I told you, everything, even a space, even a comma, even a dot will be the part of the string. Okay. Okay, you're not comfortable with this subtitle. So that's why I have sent them to the sideways. I'm not sure that's policy. They had asked me to turn it on. Don't see that again. I might say that you might be looking into the mobile phone, maybe. That's why it might be annoying to you. Yeah, basically it's policy. They have asked me to turn it on. I cannot turn off. So please manage. Yeah, you can hide if you're on PC, maybe. Okay, let's go ahead. Yeah, so all these different things you have to know. I'm coming to the extra things in the strings. And before that, let's talk about all this, right? This. So when you create a string like this, right? Let's say you have created a string like this, and let's say you assign it to something like this, S, right? And this is the value of S. Now you see, whenever you change a line, there is a backslash n, right? What is the \n? Why are we getting \n at different places? Like here as well, here as well. Like see, so whenever you see there is a change of a line, there will be a \n. So here the change of the line is being translated as \n when you are creating a multi-line string. And when you print it using the print function, these \n will be translated back to the new line again, right? So for example, here I'm printing this particular s, right? So here you see this \, and wherever it will see \n, it will send the cursor to the next line and will start doing the same thing like printing or whatever it is doing, right? So this \n is the new line character. So wherever it is, it will send the cursor to the new line. Not the code actually. Next line of the, it's not the next line of the code. It's referred while printing itself when it will be translated back into the the new line. It's in case it's in the string only. It does not have any significance if you're writing the \n over here, right? It does not have any significance in the code, in the part of the code. This has a significance inside the string only. Okay. Yeah. So somebody was talking about how can we find out the position of a character. So that's what I'm coming to. Okay. So these are the basic things about the string, like how you create, how you use, how they are made of, what all can be the part of the strings, right? The basic things about the strings. Now, we have seen creating the strings and all the other things. We have also seen printing the string. We have also seen the \n thing as well, how they work. Since this is a sequence and everything has its position, you can measure how many things are there in a string. For example, s is equals to, I have s is equals to hello, and then I can have the length of the string. So length is one of the inbuilt function in Python that is quite useful. So length, and then I put the variable name here s, that is storing the string. So it is just returning me 5. That means there are total 5 characters or 5 letters into this string. So you can see if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And let's see if I use a space there. Now you'll see it is 6 because the space is also being counted. If you use dot, if I hit comma, so the number will be increased, right? Because each and everything inside the string will be the part of the string, right? Now it is 5 again. So as I said, since it is a sequence, you can measure their length, and not only the length, as I told you, sequence means everything has a position, right? Everything has a particular sequence. So you can know what character is at what position, right? So that is called the indexing. So everything has its position means everything has its index. So let's say when I'm writing the string hello, so this is the first position. We call it 0th index, right? It's not first, it's a 0th. Basically, indexing in Python start from 0. That's something you have to understand. Right? Indexing in Python starts from 0. Everywhere across a Python, it will be starting from the 0. It's not only for the string, for the list, for the tuples, for other data structures as well. It will be starting from the 0 as. So that's the strings, and you can do, let's say, s is the string, right? Yeah, you saw the length. So let's say s is the string, and I want to see which is my first character. So I'll do s, and then I'll do write this is square bracket, and inside this I can write the index. So if I'm looking for the first index, so I will write 0, right? If I'm looking for the first value, so I will write 0. Right? If I run it, so I've got h, right? So this is called indexing, right? I'm looking into the first character of this string. Now, if I do 1, it will go to the next one, E. If I do 2, it will go to the next one, L. If I do 3, the next L. If I do 4, the next O. Now, what is the length of this? The length is 5, and we have gone from 0 to 4, and the last word is coming, right? Last character is coming, sorry, not the word. Last letter is coming. What if we do 5? 5 means we are trying to have the 5th character into this, starting from 0. So starting from 0, there cannot be 5th because the length is 5 itself. So the index can only be 0 to 4. If the length is 5, the index can only be from 0 to 4. But here I'm trying to find out the 5th one. That means the 6th element. And that is not possible. How come there can be the 6th element in the word having only 5 letters? There cannot. So if you run it or anything greater than 5, you will get an error that says string index out of range. The range, the index that you are passing, that is out of the range of the string, right? We are trying to fetch another element that does not exist. So we will get the error that is index error, right? If you have a large, a large string, then you can pass the large value into that as well. Okay, for example, let's say I have s is equals to, let's say updating the value of s. I love strings. Let's say if I'm doing this, sorry, I love strings. Then you see, if I'm doing, let's say even 5, 6, 7 or whatever, I'll be getting this, right? I'm getting T here, right? Because the string is large, right? Now, if I get, let's say 80, so 80th string is not there, right? 80th letter is not there. So I will get a string out of range error. Okay. So that's the thing. Any problem till here? Anything that you did not understand from anyone?
So what if we use null character?
Null character?
What if we introduce null character over?
Like this?
No, sir. Like backslash and 0.
Backslash 0?
Yes, sir.
So see what happens. This is what we've got.
So what does that mean, sir?
So this is nothing but, this is the part of the string itself. It's not a null character in Python. Don't associate Python with any other programming language. It is not end of the string. That is not how you do it in the string. You can also have some other things after this as well. See? So it is just the part of the character, just the part of this string. Let's say if you do 12, 13, okay, 15. See? This is nothing but this whole thing. This is being treated as a single character, this whole backslash 0 thing. See, then there is a space and there's this backslash x00 for at the 50th position. And then if you go to the 16th one, then again that goes from here.
Got it, sir.
Yeah, because see, there is another question why we are getting backslash 00 because when it was written backslash 0 in the input. The thing is, the backslash is used for formatting, right? Removing the formatting things here. So backslash 0 also have its meaning. Okay. So that's why it's being translated into this one. Why exactly if you, let's say, write something else. See, what are we getting? It's getting x comma 02. Right, let's write a large number here. So it's nothing but the hexadecimal, I guess. Yeah, it's changing that to hexadecimal number. Yeah, it's the hexadecimal number. Yeah, 121 Q. And if you see here, that's how you can put the hexadecimal number in the strings, I guess. Okay. And this is your final string as of now. This backslash is usually used for the the formatting characters, the removing the formatting things in the Python. In the index is the case sensitive. Index is the case sensitive. Okay. How can you write one or any number, capital, small? Can you write the numbers in capital and small, Kritika? Have you seen any small numbers and capital numbers in anywhere in mathematics? I hope not. So that's how they cannot be case sensitive. The numbers cannot be case sensitive. So the indices cannot be case sensitive because the numbers cannot be case sensitive, right? You understand, Kritika? I hope you do. Within the codes, I'm asking. Okay, you're asking within the codes. So once again, within the codes, you can still not write the capital 3 or small 3. Can you? And talking about the indices, if you're writing the indices cannot be in quotes. It's not possible. This is wrong. It says must be integers. You cannot pass a string. When you write something in the string, in the quotes, that will be a string. Okay. Even numbers will be inside in the quotes, that will be the string. Maybe I just forgot to tell you that. Even numbers in the string will be, in the quotes will be the string. They are all the strings. They are all the part of the string. Okay. So that's how you do the indexing. So I hope you might have got a good idea regarding the indexing. Indexing means what? Means you're fetching a particular number or particular position. You're just trying to see what is the value at particular position. That's it. That's nothing but the indexing. And that starts from 0, that goes till the length of -1. So if the length is 4, so the index will go from 0 to 4. If the length is 5, then the index will go from 0 to 4. If the index is 10, the length, if the length is 10, then the index will go from 0 to 9. Okay, because it starts from 0, it does not start from 1, but the counting starts from 1. Okay. So we've gone through the indexing. Now, next thing is the slicing. Now, what is the slicing? Now, slicing means, for example, let's understand what is the literal meaning of slicing. Literal meaning of slicing is nothing but when you try to, let's say you're slicing the apple, right? So cutting a piece of the apple, cutting some part of the apple, that is called slicing. Slicing the banana means you're cutting some part of the banana, some part in between the banana. Anywhere you can cut from the beginning, cut in the middle, or anything, right? That is called slicing. So same thing if you are doing for the string, extracting the part of the string, that can be thought of as the slicing. Now, how can you do? So for that, you need to know two things: from where you want to cut until where you want to cut. So that is called the start index and the ending index. And the syntax for this, for the slicing, syntax is, you can write the, let's say S is the string, and then you can write the square bracket, and you can write the start index, colon, end index. Right? So this is, for example, there is, let's remove all these. I love strings there. And if I do S of, let's say I want this love out of it. So where it is starting? It's starting from 2. From 2, where it till where it is going? I think there are 4 till 6. So I've got love, right? So this is the starting index 2. 6 is the ending index. And we have got the love out of it. Like if you ever have a problem in this, you can simply increase or decrease it later on itself. Let's say
So
if
instead of 6, take off 7, sir.
yeah, if you do 7, it will also include the space as well. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can do anything within the range. You can give anything that is in the range of the index. Okay. If you give very large value, that will be out of the index, right? And see, even if it is out of the index, then it can go till the end of the index only, right? It cannot go till the 380. So that's why it does not give you the error. It just goes till the end. That's it. Okay. All right. There can be different forms of it as well. For example, if you just write S, you just write colon, and then you write, let's say 6 only. You're not writing the starting index. You're writing only the ending index. So it will start from the beginning, right? The alternatives can be, you are not writing the ending index. You are only writing the starting index, right? So then it will start from the starting index and then it will go till the end. The other things can be, you do not write anything, then it will give you the whole thing starting from ending. It will give the whole string. Okay. So this is nothing but the another way of slicing. The other way of indexing is, I told you there is a negative indexing as well. I guess we didn't talk about it. So for example, we have this string, right? If I do s of -1, right? So when you do s of 0, I've got I. If I do s of 1, I got the next thing, that is the space, right? If I do s of 2, I got the next thing, that is L. But instead of going forward, if I go backward from 0, if I do -1, so it will not go forward, it will also go backward. So it will go from the backwards and then it will return you S in case of the -1. So -1 will return you the last thing of the index or any sequence. All right. And if you do -2, the second last. If you do -3, the third last, and so on and so forth. You can also experiment with this as well. You're breaking. Your voice is breaking. I still cannot hear you. Can you put the question in the comment? That would be great. Okay. You can also use this in the indexing as well, right? But you have to do it intelligently, right? You have to understand what exactly you're doing. For example, you want to do -10, you can just simply do and check, right? You can just go simply do and check. If you'll ask me to do this, see what we've got. So from here, I don't think it's any question to ask. So from here, it will go to the last one, right? I mean, the 10th one from the here. That's what it is. All right. You could have asked, let's say, what if you do like this? -18 will not be, once again, that will be out of the index, right? That cannot be, it can go till here only, I guess. It cannot go beyond that. Okay. All right. What if you use the negative indexing in the slicing? So you have to understand how can you use them, right? For example, let's say if you do from starting index till the ending index. Ending index I have given -1. So what is the ending index? -1 is the ending index of x, s. So it will exclude that. So if I do -2, it is excluding that as well, right? So that's something you can do. Let's say I want to start with -4. So I'll be getting just the last 4 things in this.
Hey Akash.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you, if you wouldn't mind, can you take up a new string including all the numbers, capital letters, and everything, and then show us a slicing of it, please?
Okay. What can we use what in this
No,
string?
like the previous question, what the other person asked was like, in this string, can you use like capital letters? Is it case sensitive or not, right? So why don't you just include within the string, instead of I love strings, so you can include some numbers as well as some,
Exactly.
capital letters and everything, and show us a slicing of it if it's possible.
Is no way different
Yeah,
from.
yeah, I agree, but they had the similar dots, so I just thought I could help them with that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look into this. When I do -1, I'm getting the last one. When I do once again -1, so it's last one only. When I do this one, so this is the starting index. Starting index -4 means it will be somewhere over here. And from starting index, I'm not defining the ending index, so it will go till the very end. So from here, so it is giving you till the last 4 only. So this is how you can just give the starting and ending index, but you have to understand that starting index cannot be greater than ending index. Okay. So for example, if I do -5 here, so I'll be getting a nothing or empty string because I'm starting at -4 but ending at -5. That's not possible. I'm starting at here but ending at over here. That's not possible. Okay. So that's something you have to understand. Yeah, all these things you can do. You can do all these different things with the whole string itself. No, I mean, there is not an issue. The other variable, the other thing in the slicing could be thought of as the step size. So for example, you have s, right? You can write the column, right? And we can write the another column. So let's understand the syntax first. So here we could write, let's say, start index. Here we can write end index. And here we could write step size, right? So now you see there are 2 columns. The first one is the starting index, you already know. The second one is the ending index, you already know. The third one is the step size. Let's understand what is this step size. So for example, I have this string, right? And then what I want is, I want to get all these things, but at a certain step. So let's say if I use the step size of 2. So as I'm not specifying any starting index and ending index, if I do not specify any starting index and ending index, then what will happen? It will capture the whole string. But I am specifying the step size. So see what is happening. If I specify the step size as 1, it will show me the whole thing. Why? Because there is a step size of 1, means it will capture I, and then the next element to capture is the next one. It is taking the step of 1. So from I to space, then to L, and then to O, then V, then E, and so. If you use the step size of 2, from I it will not go to the space, because now it is taking the step of 2. From I it will go to L now. It will leave one element in between. So you can see from I and then L, and then leaving O in between, going to V. That's what V. And then leaving E in between, it is going to the space. That's the space here. And then S is left, and then it's going to T, and T is here, and so on and so forth. You'll see till the very end. If you take the step size of 3, the similar thing will happen. From I, it is leaving 2 things in between now, taking the step of 3. So from L, space and L has been left. I, you have got O only, right? And then VE has been left, and then you've got the space. And then ST has been left, and then you've got the R. That's what it is. That's how it happens. It does all the things. Okay. I hope there is no problem in getting this. Any problem? you can also do this step size as negative as well. For example, if you do s of colon -1, then what will happen? It is nothing but reversing the whole string. See, a star is at front, and then and is there, then this thing is there, and then modulo operator, then dollar sign, hash. Everything is just if you write here from I LOVE STRING 1 2 3 4, and then all the things over here. So this is nothing but that reverses the string. Okay, if you do colon -1, if you do -2, then what will happen? It will go from the backwards, but it will leave one element in between. So from I, you will see. So this is something, see, I cannot just explain for -2, -3, -4, -5, all the things. This is something you have to go and do it on your own. So when we just sign off, when we finish this lecture, I will request you guys. So I will also share this particular notebook to you. I'll request you to go download it and open it corresponding, whether it is, Jupyter notebook or your collaboratory. Open your respective environment and try to do a little bit practice. If you have already hands on these pretty basic things, then there is no issue. You can just skip these things, but you have to do the things later on in the course. But yeah, if you are just beginning, if you're just trying to learn everything from the beginning, you don't know about all this, then definitely practice will help you and to gain a little bit of more confidence. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is about the strings and mixing and slicing. There are some basic string properties that I just quickly want to touch. String properties. So the first, like the length property we saw, every string has a length. There is a property called concatenation. You can add two different string by using plus operator. So let's say you have two string, let's say Akash, and then plus, oh yeah. So I have just added these two different strings by using plus. Okay. 1 second. And please, you just can how to open in Windows. There are no option for Jupyter Notebook in Anaconda. Can I separate site for Jupyter Notebook? No. I think you can just scroll up and down. You can see the things for Anaconda. You will get the Anaconda over there. If not the launch button, then you'll get the install button. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is the concatenation property, the first one that we saw. You can let's say you have s is equals to let's say hello, and then you can just have s plus world. Remember, then we are getting hello world. So since we are not getting any space in between, because neither there is a space at the end of hello nor there is a space at the beginning of world, so that's why there is no space in between hello world. If you want, you can just include a space either before the world or after hello, right? And then you will get the space in between. Or the alternative, what you can do, you can have another string. So you can add as many as strings you want by using this the string concatenation. You can you can add as many as strings. Right, so you see I'm just adding another one. So hello world, another. So that's how you can do all the things. Okay, so this would be another thing to get started. So this is and if you want to let's say you want to update the value of s, then what you can do is you can just reassign the value, right? S is equals to S. So whatever it is returning, that will be reassigned to this S. So currently it is hello only. But if I run this cell and then I check, then it will be the whole thing, whatever the summation of this whole thing, the concatenation after the concatenation, whatever it was returning, that will be reassigned to this S string. Okay. So that's something. All right. There are few, the built-in string method. So since Python is, in Python, these things are implemented through objects and I'd say objects and classes and objects. So you see, this string is also an object of a class, basically. So it also has the methods, right? So you'll come to know later, if you already know the classes and objects, the object-oriented programming thing, so that's fine. But you'll come to know that later what exactly is this thing that we're talking about. If you don't know about this, don't know, no issues. You can simply understand it like that itself, right? So there are some built-in methods into this. So whenever you create a string, you are doing nothing but creating the string object. Okay. Whenever you create a string, you are creating a string object, and you can apply all those, you can apply all those methods that are available for the string. For example, if I do s dot, see, there are a lot of methods available. There is a capitalize method, right? You can see it will capitalize the first character of the string, right? There is s dot upper method that will return the uppercase of the same thing, right? S dot lower method that will return the lowercase of the same thing because it's already lower actually. S dot count, if you want to count something, right? Count, let's say how many times O is appearing in this. Sorry, so you need to give O as a string. So you see there are 3 times. If you want to count the uppercase O, right, you will see 0 because there is no uppercase O, right? 3 times O is coming. And S dot, if you want to know the index of something, let's say index of H, or let's say index of N, let's say, sorry, N you need to give as a string. So 14, this is the index of it. Let's say if you want to go, if you want to get the index of L, so it will return the index of the first character, right? So I'll come to that part. There is something called string formatting as well. So I'll come to this. I think it's just 1.5 hours, so I'll just finish this class today. So we'll start from the same thing from tomorrow onwards, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much of it from my time, from my side today. Okay, that's it. Thanks everyone. Bye. I'm logging off.